Well, good Thursday evening, friends. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of Joe Blue Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. Thank you all for being here and being part of my vacation with me and my wonderful wife, Tracy, and our friends. Um, we're at our last port here, and tomorrow morning we'll be getting kicked off the ship. Actually, I might be rolling off the ship because of all the food they've been shoveling in my throat. If you want to know more about Virgin Atlantic cruises, I have a playlist of the whole trip and all of the stuff that comes along with it. And literally, the biggest mistake. Oh my God, I can't believe they did me like this. I can't believe they did me like this, but you can definitely check that out on that playlist. I've seen a bunch of people who said that they're happy about what they've heard from what I've done here on the ship and things, and that they're going to be booking a cruise with it as well. But make sure you find out about the biggest mistake because it's terrible. Anyway, that's not why we're here, and I apologize because I know some people are like, I just want my Dallas Cowboys, and we're going to be getting back to work tomorrow evening when I get back home. It'll be Cowboys, Cowboys, Cowboys. They have now concluded. Um, like we're going into the eye of the storm here when we leave. Was that some lightning I just saw back there? I've been seeing all kinds of crazy stuff in the back frames of the settings and things here. But anyway, yeah, sounds like a thunderstorm. Um, Cowboys have finished their OTAs mandatory, and we have some actually really great news. Now, every year there's always some guys that show up that you're not expecting a whole lot from. For example, 2 years ago in our wide receiver core, um, Cedric Wilson actually showed up and did a lot more than what you expected him to do. Ended up making a name for himself, and as a free agent, got paid to go to Miami, could be traded from Miami. But again, one of those guys you weren't expecting a lot from. Um, and we have a couple of guys on the roster right now who are forgotten and buried down in there, who start out their careers or have some years that are down, and you look at it and say, what happened to that guy? And we have, like I said, a couple of those. But one guy who has really been turning heads and has gotten up under the wing of Brandon Cooks. Yeah, see, here's the thing about Brandon Cooks. Brandon Cooks has been around the NFL for a while. He's got a lot of experience. He's been in different systems, been with different quarterbacks and things, and knows his way around. And I hate to say this, but that was part of the problem the Cowboys had last year with the young wide receiver crew. Remember, CeeDee Lamb was only going into his third year. CeeDee Lamb was still wet behind the ears. He was the only really experienced wide receiver we had. In fact, opening week, we literally had nobody who had caught a touchdown pass in the wide receiver room other than CeeDee Lamb, which is unbelievable to start a season. So who do the guys turn to learn from? You got nobody. You got nobody. Now Michael Gallup, of course, came back, a few weeks into the season, but Michael Gallup still wasn't that wily veteran that was there. Well, Brandon Cooks apparently has taken Jalen Tolbert under his wings, and Jalen Tolbert, of course, is singing the praises of that move of bringing Brandon Cooks and learning, basically being like a sponge, sucking up all of that knowledge and skills that Brandon Cooks has and has learned from it so much. In fact, he has been one of the bright spots, they say. There's been several bright spots, but one of the major bright spots for the Dallas Cowboys coming out of training camp. And here's the great news is Brandon Cooks, because see, I know a lot of y'all out there will talk about Dak Prescott is trash and they need to get rid of Dak and move on and trade Dak and this, that, and the other. But I tell you, one of the great things about Dak Prescott is Dak Prescott has that field at his house. See, most teams, this is what always happens with the Cowboys and Dak Prescott and the crew, is in the off season, during the summer, after OTAs and all that, you have Dak Prescott and the guys working out. And this happens with a lot of quarterbacks and stuff. But they work out and they'll have a trip that will be, someplace together. They'll come down to Florida and go fishing together. You always see, Lord knows, we always see Lyle Collins on the boat. It looks like the boat's too small. They don't follow Jaws, and then they say, we need a bigger boat. But I digress. But you always see those group of guys there that have been working out, that have been hanging out. They are getting a repertoire together. And Brandon Cooks has already confirmed that they will be working out together this offseason. And we all know that Dak Prescott has that 50-yard field in his backyard. So what they can do now is, now that they've got everybody that's been in there, they've had their OTAs, they've got the playbook, is now we can practice on a regular basis. Dak Prescott's got an incredible home. Dak, I'm waiting for an invitation. If you want to invite a brother over, I can do a tour. I can do a tour just like I did, here with Virgin Atlantic Cruises. Now, I won't break anything. I won't drink up your good liquor or anything like that. Yeah, we about to get a thunderstorm. Whoa! Did you guys see that? Oh shit! Did you see that? Okay. One thing about being in a thunderstorm at sea, you're the tallest thing out there. And I don't know how a lightning rod works on a ship. There ain't no ground to ground it to. Okay. I've been photobombed by a lot of things. I got booty bombed yesterday. Now, I've been lightning bombed. All right, back to Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys. And maybe that's a sign. Maybe that's a sign that the Cowboys are going to have a great season. I know the talking heads out there are saying that, without Kellen Moore being there, that Kellen Moore was the genius for the Dallas Cowboys and had everything working so good for them and everything else. And, they made a mistake of making a change to going to an inexperienced guy like Mike McCarthy and Brian Schottenheimer. And now we got the Texas Coast offense. Yes, the Texas Coast offense, where the Dallas Cowboys are basically making a hybrid offense. It's going to be the West Coast principles with the things that have worked well with the Dallas Cowboys over the last few years. Brian Schottenheimer, who is the offensive coordinator and the right-hand man, the hand of the king. Let's call Brian. That's what we're going to start calling Brian Schottenheimer, the hand of the king. The hand of the king talks about how good Dak Prescott has been with this offense, with the offense that they've had for the last 6 years. And they want to basically tweak it with a few new wrinkles and some new surprises and take the things that work the best that Dak Prescott does and really accentuate those things. And I gotta say, I'm excited about that. I don't know how the talking heads out there and all that can look at this and say, oh, well, the Cowboys offense is going to be ass. When you add a deep threat, when you get a Michael Gallup, who now is, another year removed from the ACL surgery and healing, is definitely better suited for it, that you have more speed on the roster, and you now had time for your rookie offensive tackle, who may be playing a guard, to really start. Well, they're really moving their ass down here to really start becoming more dominant. So I'm excited for the season to get here, and I'm glad I got this vacation out the way and get back to work on the red brick house and get that done, so that way we can get on the training camp. Yeah, it's getting fierce out there. I'm seeing literally lightning bolts. Okay. Yeah. We're heading into a storm, y'all. batten down the hatches. I'm Mark Holmes, and I appreciate you.